Hello, I'm so excited you're going to string a Grinch. So in the kit you get this guy with your template, so make sure you save this one. And then you get your pre-nailed design and the bag of all the strings, plus some paper instructions, which I don't have in front of me. So the first one I'm going to teach you how to do is this red section. And when you look in your bag, there's going to be two different sets of red. The big one for this little one for the eyes. And I try and put an extra string so you don't have to use all the string on all of the spools if you don't want. You just fill it until you like it, but extra is always better. So just keep in mind. I'm gonna start with red right up at the top. First thing you do is just grab it, the end of the red string, and I'd like to tie a knot in the air. Just makes it a little easier. So you have your little loop, and then choose any nail in the red section. So it's kind of like coloring. So you're just going to choose anyone, random, and I like to put my finger over it so it doesn't fly off. Doesn't always work. And then you just tie it again. Okay, so tie it and hold it tight, and then one more knot on that same nail. Around my fingers, and then through and looped. So you can either tuck the long end in right there, or if you would rather, what I like to do is I just kind of trim it. You just want to leave about that much. So what is that? Half an inch, quarter inch? I'm kind of bad at eyeballing some things. Okay, and then that's just trash. So once you've got it in, you just don't want it to come loose when you're pulling. Then the next step is you are just going to go, I like to outline where I'm going before I color in the center. It just helps my brain a little bit know my boundaries. So you're just going to wrap it around each of the nails. And then when you get to bigger parts, you can actually cheat and skip a chunk of them and then wrap. As you do it, hold it tight. If you let it loose, it'll all kind of fly off. Then the other thing is your other hand. I'm left-handed, so it's probably gonna look opposite for you, but I use one hand to sort of hold the string, and I'll move it as I go, like so. And if you wanna wrap it around every nail, that is completely fine too. Then I'm gonna go down this part. And again, you're gonna follow your cheat sheet, and we're just doing a basic outline, and then we'll curve up right here, and then go down, okay? And then it's these same steps for every section of color that you do. The smaller details take a little bit more time, but you know what? It's so fun and it's very forgiving. You just unwind the string if you don't like it. All right, so here, don't worry about going up so much because you're gonna come back with the black after. Okay, and then we're gonna go up and technically over. The black outline is just for a little detailing later. So you can skip that one if you want. And then I'm going to go down to the point. There is kind of like a bigger gap now that I look at it. Ooh, there we go. And then back up we go. And just hold it tight and wrapping and wrapping and wrapping. Just like so. All right, so then that is your red section. There's no pattern for filling in the middle. You get to choose wherever you want to go, but it's the same idea. You can wrap it around the nail, or you can just sort of hook it, if that makes sense. It can be just crazy, or you can do it up and down, back and forth. Usually I start with like this. That gives me a good base. And then I'll change directions a little bit and just keep pushing it down. But you're just gonna keep doing this until it's solid and filled in. One other thing you can do is a figure eight. And this is good to learn because the figure eight is how you do the border, but I'm jumping ahead. So figure eight is you're just gonna choose two nails and go on either side. So on outside, outside, and then you're gonna create an X. So you're gonna go on the opposite side and then wrap it around and opposite side again, okay? And that's your figure eight. So the infinity sign. And see how it just makes it a little bit thicker, if that makes sense? So 4 strings versus just 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So I usually do a mix of this and this. to get this. Another tip, if you're doing it and it's not sticking as well, you can push down the layers of the string as you're wrapping, and it'll give you a little bit more room. See how they're all at the top? So you can push all of these down and it'll give you more space to easily wrap tons more red. Plus down here, you do want to push it down anyways, because you're still going to have to do with the white fluffy and then also the black border on top. So push down your layers, and that's it. Now that you have it filled in, if you have a ton of extra string still that you're not using, I usually just cut myself whatever you need to cut to have 2 knots. So about that much, less or more, whatever you need. And then again, just like in the beginning, we're just going to tie a double knot around any of the nails in this section. So wherever you ended up is fine. I ended up right here. So again, I'm going to hold it tight so it doesn't unravel, and then do the knot in the air. Again, hold it tight. And then what I do is I loop it and I use my finger to hold it down on the nail that I want. And then I pull. And that is a little trick for trying to get it on the first time, because sometimes I go too fast and it doesn't want to actually stay on the nail. I'm going to do one more on the same nail, like that. Just make sure it's tight. And then grab your scissors if you have a long end. And then trim it. And then whatever tail is left, you just sort of use your scissors or fingers or whatever you've got, and just tuck it so you don't see it. Just like that. And then you're just going to repeat those same steps. Next, I'm going to do the green face, and then I do the white, just because of the layering, then it looks like it's on top of his head. Look for some markers. So if you're looking, try and see right here is the curve of the eye. It's right here. And then I like to find the bottom one right here, and you can count up to double check. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you'll have one on either side. One on either side. So that's how I kind of check to make sure I'm in the right section. When you're ready to do the black string for his eyebrows and the rest of his face, one thing that I like to do, and I wanted to show you kind of up close, is around the bottom of his eye. It's almost like eyeliner. I just wrap it on one side, on the outer side, just around. I don't do a figure 8, then it makes it too thick and you lose the yellow. But if you want, and it's completely optional, if you want to just leave it like this without any black underneath, or that's the look if you want the black going under. But you can skip this part. I just wanted to show you guys in case. But then I just go 1, remember use both hands, 2, just like that, and that's all I do. This is how we do the figure 8 in between, and it's the same thing for all this border of any of the black outlining. So let's go over it one more time, just because, you know, counting the nails. So I'm gonna go up and just count on your template. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it'll be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up, and you can kind of tell because you don't want it all the way up here either. So you just wrap around. What I do is I go once this way, and then I go crisscross. Sometimes for these, hold on, you can just loop them around. And use 2 hands and push it down as you need. And it's just like that. So you're just winding it on the outside and then doing an X in between.